The Count of Monte Cristo came out in 2002, directed by Kevin Reynolds, starring Jim Caviezel. That movie, based on a book. Remember Alexander Dumas? He wrote a couple classics. Look it up. I've never known anyone to dislike this film. As far as French movies about guys being falsely imprisoned that eventually escape and get out and get millions and billions of bucks and plot mad revenge on the people that put them there, this is one of the better selections of that genre. Okay, so this video will deal with the movie and not the book. They diverge in many ways, tiny ways, but they're not tiny actually, so forget what I just said. So you've been warned. You done been warned. We're doing the movie. Keep in mind the book is better probably, but it's a little more complicated. That's why I want to stick with the movie. Okay, so it's more of a streamlined story. I think there's a few more tangential things going on in the book than in the movie. Edmond Dantes, he's the guy that is the count, right? After he gets taught by the old dude in the prison to be smart and Machiavellian and a warrior and plot his terrible revenge. And this film really is just pure revenge. It's a pure revenge fantasy until it's not, and that's where we're going to get at in the end here. So Dantes makes everyone pay, Dantes being the count. All the wrongs that were done to him, he revisits them on the perpetrators in very Machiavellian, schemy ways, and everybody goes down. When he makes everybody pay, we want to see this. We love seeing this. You know, this is just pure, it's a revenge fantasy. And it's fun to get revenge on the people that have taken you down a peg. It's fun to see people get the just desserts. So what a lot of movies, films, stories are all about, just getting back at the bad guys. Why? Because I think we all want justice. We want fairness. We want to see the scales balanced, right? Edmond Dantes' redemptive arc is the point of the film, and he finally gets there. At the end, after besting the villainous Mondego, he tells him to leave. That's the most interesting part, I think. At least in the third act, I think that's the most interesting part, when Mondego's leaving, and there's this look on his face, and he turns around, whatever. We see that. So Dantes says, go. I've gotten you. I've beaten you in the mind. I've beaten you in any kind of pecuniary way. He's won, and he's beat him relationship-wise. He's got the son. He's got the woman. So Dantes, instead of being this revenge guy, in the end, he's done with that. He says, just go, and I've won, and I can be a little bit generous of spirit and just say go. And the question is, would we have been okay with that if Mondego had just ridden off and just kept riding, and where he's out there somewhere just not brushing his teeth, and that's just it. That's the whole story. Keep in mind, the movie's called The Count of Monte Cristo. It's not called Guys with Swords Get Revenge in France. That's not the point of the movie. The point is about the Count and his redemptive arc. He goes from like a wide-eyed kid that's, kind of a hayseed who is a good person and not cynical, to obviously getting beaten down and imprisoned and going through this whole nasty personality change, where he's just hell-bent on getting revenge. Now we see at the end he's like willing to just let it go, which I think, okay, that is the end of his arc. Now the thing being called The Count of Monte Cristo, I think that's the end. But then Mondego comes back, and I think that was a filmmaker's choice, and that was fine, because I don't know that we would be okay with that dude just riding away. We need to see him get his final desserts, which is both feet in the grave. Like I said, the Count, he's willing to be magnanimous, and in sports we call this being a good winner. But I think the story is too intense for our bloodlust not to be sated. I don't know if we're capable of that forgiveness, knowing Mondego is out there and just doing whatever he does. I'm asking the question, but maybe you're cool with it when he's riding off, and maybe you're not. It's up to the watcher perhaps, but it asks questions about the way we read and view stories. Is Mondego's death the only means of catharsis from this tale? Not sure, but that's what the storytellers thought. But we don't judge here. We forgive either way. I'll let you be the judge of the veracity of that claim. Statement. Cheers and see you after.